Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be examining the differences between HR analytics and HR big data.
HR big data is great. Thanks to our cutting-edge 4.0 algorithms, we can make decisions quickly.
HR big data is all over the media. It's one of those popular concepts that get written about again and again, and that promise great things. But it gets talked about so much that it's easy to lose track of what we're actually talking about. Are HR data and HR analytics the same thing? What's the difference if there is one? What's the story?
It's true that all the excitement about HR big data has left HR analytics somewhat forgotten. Sometimes the two terms are wrongly used interchangeably, because there are significant differences between the two approaches.
The main difference has to do with the kind of data analyzed. It's the most important difference to understand, because all the others are more of a result.
You're right. HR analytics generally analyzes structured data. In other words, numerical data, like age, years of seniority, gross or net salary, etc., or textual data that fits into established norms, like junior, senior, manager, executive, type of contract, headquarters or subsidiary, etc.
Whereas big data handles non-structured data, which means data that does not fit a predetermined format, in addition to all that.
The second difference, which results from the first, has to do with the amount of data analyzed, since there's much less structured data out there. HR analytics handles a much smaller volume of data.
And big data is, as you might have guessed from the name, big. HR big data handles massive amounts of data.
As a result, the data doesn't come from the same place. That's the third difference. HR analytics focuses on data produced and stored within a company.
Big data, on the other hand, gleans information from wherever it can, from within the company and outside of it, all over the internet, social networks, blogs and other forums, emails, etc. Everywhere basically.
These differences also impact the analysis process itself. HR big data and HR analytics don't use the same statistical models or tools. And the IT specialists that program and interpret the data are also different most of the time.
As you can see, HR big data and HR analytics are two completely different things. And when you get down to it, the use of HR big data remains mostly anecdotal, except maybe when it comes to hiring support.
It makes you wonder about who benefits from confusing the two approaches, but that's another story.
To recap, HR analytics and HR big data use different statistical models and analyze different kinds and volumes of data obtained from different sources. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short. Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.